But when you're emotionally engaged, you remember a lot more. It's like, can you remember 9/11? And most people can remember where you were in 9/11,
right,
where you watched that, because you're emotionally engaged. Something serious has happened and you're just, oh, what's going on? When you could probably remember the last 3 times you were submitted in jiu-jitsu, especially as you get better and better and it happens less and less. You remember these things. You remember the last time you're taken down. You remember the last time you sweat because emotionally it affected you. So knowing, and they call it the emotional arousal theory of memory, a really good way to do that is with positional sparring with some kind of high consequences. So when I was doing football, this is something I did with football because my brother was trying to get their skills higher, okay? So what he did is when they were doing drills, he would say, if someone drops the football, because they kick it to someone as they drop it, everyone gets 10 push-ups. So what happened is people didn't want to drop the ball because they didn't want to miss a target because they didn't want to be the reason why everyone does push-ups. So they started slowing things down, okay, which didn't really work well because then they go into a game where they've got high level stress and they can't deal with that because they've been slowing things down during training. I said, change that, Adam. Let's make it, if they drop a ball while they're not going 100%, then everyone gets punished. So then what happens is people are more motivated about doing it because everyone's trying it 100% now. So when they catch the ball, when they kick the ball, they feel really good about themselves because they're going so high. So everyone was stepping it up and they're going so hard during training, and the motivation and the atmosphere was so much more positive because they're like, yeah, go for it. Instead of like, don't do this, don't do that. It was motivated by positivity. And then when it came to training and the game, they were so good because they had trained under high stress environments and felt very comfortable in that. So taking that into jiu-jitsu, you benefit very little from sitting there doing anything that's unemotionally engaged. When you do positional sparring, and I say to you, and I'm like, don't lose this takedown. Don't do it. Don't get swept. And the class is watching you. Suddenly you've got pressure, you got stress, you got emotion, you got anxiety, nerves, but your brain is remembering everything. Your body is remembering everything. So everything you learnt in that, your body's absorbing because it feels like
it's important. Yeah.
Yes. And then I'll turn it around. I say, now I'm going to try and pass your guard. Okay. And we do it again. And that'll literally be the end of the session. And I'll ask them any questions they have and I'll give them little tips. I'd say, listen, you work on your posture when you're passing because your head's really far down, your legs are really straight. I want you to bend those legs a little bit more and I want you to straighten your spine. This will give you better mobility. Also be on your toes a little bit more and move a little smoother. Use your arms more. It'll be little tips that I'm giving them, okay? But I'm not telling them how to do any techniques. And then the next session they come and you should see the difference in them. Like they're so much better. Like they've learned so much more. Yeah.
And the best way to get them excited is by them training in real time,
getting
right?
in there. And I've had people that let's say have trained for 6 months with someone else and they do one session with me and they say, kid, I've learned more in this one session than I have in the last 6 months. But it's not from me. They don't learn anything from me. They learned it through discovery themselves. I just created an environment that allows them to get the best out of themselves.